Welcome back. Microsoft has released new edition of their Windows Server operating system. This will be Windows Server 2025. This is under preview. I'll be installing the Windows Server 2025 edition using VMware Workstation 16 Pro. And I have also created the folder where I have downloaded the image for the Server 2025. So this is the image which I have downloaded. And I have also created a folder for the virtual machine. So this will be the folder which I'll be using under temp win 2025. So let us start creating the virtual machine using the VMware workstation. I will click on create new virtual machine. I will choose the custom, select next, click on next. I will install the operating system later, select next, and this is the Microsoft Windows edition. So I can choose which is the latest edition of the Windows Server. I don't find Windows Server 2022 or 2025 here. So I'll choose the Windows Server 2019. I will name the server or virtual machine as Windows Server 2025. And I will store all the virtual machine files in the folder where I have created. I will store all the folders here. Select next. Choose the BIOS option. And I will increase the processor to 2 and also increase the cores to 2 so that this virtual machine gets more power. And also I will increase the memory to 4096, which is 4 GB of RAM. I will use the default NAT network and LSI logic, which is recommended for the disk. I will choose LSI logic. Select next. I will also choose NVMe, which is also recommended. And I'll create a new virtual disk for the operating system. And by default, Windows Server 2025 requires 32 GB of free hard disk space. So I have given 60 GB of space and I will store in a single file. So this will be the virtual machine disk file, vmdk file, and I'll select next and finish. So now the virtual machine has been created, but I need to select the boot option and I need to point the ISO image. I'll go to the CD and I will choose the ISO image for the Server 2025 edition. Click on OK and I will power on. So it has booted successfully. I will enter. Okay, I have missed to enter. So what I will do is I will again reboot, restart guest. Now I will enter. Yeah. So the setup is loading the files. It will take some time. So this is the first screen after booting the operating system. I will use the default, so English United States and time and currency format. That is also I will keep it as default. I'll click on next, keyboard and input. Next. I would like to install Windows Server and I need to agree. I will agree so that the disk can be formatted. Since I wanted the GUI, I will choose Windows Server 2025 standard and this will give me the GUI interface, and I'll select next. And I agree for the license. So this is the disk which will be formatted and the operating system will be installed. So this is the disk which we created while creating the virtual machine, 60 GB of disk. So I'll select next. And I will click on install. So the setup has started installing the Windows Server. I will pause the video and I will come back when the next screen pops up. It's been almost 5 to 7 minutes. It has come to 26% now. I'll pause the video again and I'll come back. So far it has completed 51% and there was no reboot. I will wait for some time and I will start the video again. Approximately it has been around 12 to 13 minutes now and the status is 76%. I think it is going for the reboot. This is the first time which the server is going reboot. Yeah, this is the first reboot. Also, I have set the CPU for 2 and the CPU cores as 2. If we increase the CPU count and the core count, the installation process might get faster. And the memory also I have set it to 4 GB. Let us see what is the next screen after the reboot. Okay, again it is continuing with the installation and it might take some time. I will pause the video and come back. This is the second reboot. Let us see from where the installation continues. Either it is going to present any GUI or it is continuing with the installation. Let us wait and see. Okay, it is continuing with the installation, 94% completed. Yeah, now I have the GUI screen to enter the password. So there was 2 reboots while doing the installation. And what I will do is I will enter the password. And I will click on finish. So this is the administrator password which I have updated. And so I have to use Ctrl Alt Del to enter I will use the password which I have given, and let me log in. I'm waiting to see the interface, how it looks in Windows Server 2025. I will accept this, and we have the GUI. Okay, great. This is the first look of Windows Server 2025 edition. So this is the preview edition of Windows Server 2025, which we have installed. You might see the graphics, the desktop is not clear. I have to install the VMware tools so that it installs the drivers for the graphics and other drivers for network and sound adapters as well. So I'll install it later. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the content, please subscribe and share the video. Thank you and take care.